Minutes to midday. Good morning. If you're just joining us, it's Rory with you until midday, taking you through going back in time, music and memories all the way until then. And we are live on Facebook and across all of our social media channels this morning. So good morning if you're watching online, and joining me via Zoom, because the DeLorean didn't quite make it time to see him this morning, down to pick him up in time. Colleen McFadden is here to talk us through all the upcoming releases over the next month or so and what's in the cinemas right now. Colleen, good morning.
Good morning, Rory. It's brilliant to be here. I'm delighted. Loads of movies this month. You know, after the last couple of years where, let's face it, there was a wee bit of a gap and they were just kind of doling out movies every now and then to us. We're in full-on blockbuster season. We've got loads to talk about. And I think something that'll suit everyone, including, you know, we're obviously going to talk big blockbusters. We're going to talk the big box office movies. But we might mention a few if we have time, if I don't go on too much, if we have time to mention a few that people maybe won't know as well.
Okay, yeah, and as you said, like, I mean, we've movies now coming up. I mean, summer block, but this is the first summer blockbuster season in what, 2 years, give or take?
Yeah, 3 years. And actually, I suppose we start with the number one movie in the world right now, which is Top Gun. And that's a perfect example of what we've gone through in the last couple of years. And that this movie was ready in 2019. They finished filming it in 2019 and they were ready to go. I think it was May 2020. And they held on. And then, of course, you know, there's the pandemic and the cinemas were closed and all. But even last summer, Tom Cruise was saying, absolutely no way am I doing this until all the cinemas are open everywhere. And you know, that us in the cinema business were kind of going, oh, that seems like quite a good sign, actually, doesn't it? You know, that if they're holding that. So then, lo and behold, I went to watch the movie, and I know lots of people will have seen it already. But I must admit, so I am off that we were talking a little bit off air, and you were kind of saying your movies. I realized, oh no, I'm a couple of years older than him. But I am very much of the Top Gun generation. However, all my pals love Top Gun. I was more of an Arnie guy, wasn't a big fan. So I went in to see this and I was kind of going, you know, it'll be fun. You know, I'm a bit of a bleeding heart lefty and all that sort of stuff. It's all American military. I don't know. After about 4 minutes, Rory, I was going, okay, you've got me. I'm in. By the end of the movie, I am USA. This is the most fun I've had in the cinema in years. And it's not, and I can't stress this enough, my normal cup of tea.
Right, okay.
Brilliant. Like, you notice the difference in the sort of physicality of watching this. I know that sounds like waffly nonsense, but what it is they strapped the jets or the cameras to the jets when they were filming this. Then they took the actors up in two-seater airplanes. Mm-hmm. And so you can't see the actual pilot. They are acting. They operate the cameras themselves, the actors, and they are acting while flying. And you can tell the difference. I don't know how, but you can. It's such a tremendous amount of fun. And look, I am, of course, biased. I love the cinema. But there is no way. I know lots of people have all sorts of dodgy devices to watch it. I don't care how big your telly is. I don't care how fancy your phone is. There is no way this experience, save that for Fast and Furious. There is no way this experience can be done anywhere except the cinema to enjoy it properly.
And we know it's big, it's bold, it's brash, it's full of action. How does it work on a story level?
Well, it's almost like we rehearsed this, which we actually haven't, because I wanted to say that all of that stuff is great fun, and that would work for the first half hour if there wasn't an actual story here. And Tom Cruise says the reason he took 35 years to make it is, you know, it was a huge hit first time around. He was being sent scripts for Top Gun 2 all the time, and he just said no. Now, it probably helps that he didn't need the money, you know, and he didn't need a hit. But he was saying, story's no good. And then they came along. The fact that Miles Teller is the image, he looks exactly like you would imagine what Meg Ryan and Anthony Andrews and Edwards even son would be like. Yeah. It's uncanny, especially with the little tash. It's uncanny that he looks like him. The story works that Maverick, you know, he's still the most talented fighter. There's a reason he's still in the military, even though he never obeys the rules. That's explained in the story. And that he's sent back as a teacher because it's such a nonsense mission. Only he could do it. And by the end, look, it probably is true. The last 15 minutes, maybe the brilliant storytelling does get a tiny bit silly, but it doesn't matter anymore because you're so in. You love all these characters just as much as you love the old ones, and more importantly, if you've never heard of the old ones. So I was working with a group. They were, 13. They didn't even know who Tom Cruise was. Imagine if I felt old when I was talking to you earlier. You imagine how that made me feel. Yeah. I was talking to a chap in the tourist office yesterday who I'm sure is a very healthy 23, but to me he looked 12. And he said, never seen Top Gun, absolutely adored it. So all the people of my generation who love Top Gun loved it. And all the people who've never heard of Top Gun loved it. Now, if you get those two, you must be doing something right. So good story, good act. It probably helps with the action movies. They're proper actors too. They are good actors, even if you're being slightly ridiculous as a, macho pilot. And they've updated it a little bit because the same amount of time has passed in real life as in the movie life. They're not pretending it was the day after Top Gun. It's done in real
time, okay.
It's done in real time, and it really works. If you ever have me on again, I will guarantee you, I get people to write in and so on. Everyone's going to say they've had a tremendous experience at the cinema. There are people going to this that I don't think have gone to the cinema, certainly since before lockdown, who are coming out. A few of them came to see Bond, but this is having even more bigger expense. Obviously, people feel a bit safer now as well.
There certainly seems to be a bigger buzz around this one. And is it because that, most of the restrictions are gone now, so people can actually go to the cinema, and the cinema's full of people, and the atmosphere is there, and everything a moviegoer loves about going to the movie theater is back.
That's it. But the joy and downside of my job is I get to watch the movies usually a couple of days early. I get to walk into the cinema, open it up, and watch it myself, and that's brilliant. But there's something communal in watching it, particularly if it's a funny or exciting movie. Yeah. Do you know that bit where people go when something happens?
Yeah, there's a collective gasp or
There's nothing like it. It's like I remember many, many years ago watching The Sixth Sense for the second time and turning around and watching the rest of the audience when the reveal happens. There's nothing like that.
Yeah.
And so because there's genuinely jaw-dropping moments, and I mean literally, and I know how to use the word literally properly, actual jaw-dropping moments in this, to watch it with a big packed cinema is just wonderful with that sound, because everyone, as the jet flies over and everyone flinches, it's like a Mexican wave of emotion, a Mexican wave of joy and fun, all the stuff we missed out over lockdown right there wrapped up in one movie. I kind of liked it. Could you guess?
Yeah, I'm sort of picking that up. Yeah, I'm picking up that vibe. Right, so that's Top Gun. So that's in theaters now and probably will be for quite some time. It's doing big business. What have we got coming up over the next month? We're heading in now to blockbuster season proper, right? There's a couple of big releases coming our way over the next month or two. What have we got coming up?
Yeah, you could pretty tick off every Friday for the next 3 weeks of really big movies. So next week, talking about classic franchises, we've got Jurassic World Dominion. That's because we don't use numbers in Hollywood anymore. Yeah, because the people know like 2 or 3. It's Top Gun Maverick. It's Jurassic World Dominion. And this one I'm really excited about too. Not just because, dinosaurs are fun. They always are. So I loved Jurassic Park way back in the day. It's a brilliant movie. And I think the sequels were never quite as good. And then Jurassic World came with a new cast, and the action scenes in it were always excellent. But again, you asked earlier about story. I think maybe the story in the first 2 Jurassic World movies were okay.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was good fun, but nothing gripped you like the other one. And they seem to have come full circle now. They're saying this is the last one and they want to nail the landing. So they've brought back the original cast with the new cast. So we've Sam Neill, we've Jeff Goldblum and Laura Dern, as well as Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard. The monsters are bigger and better than ever. And they really kind of changed it from the monsters or the dinosaurs are the bad guys to maybe, we're kind of the bad guys for creating this mess. And I think what we always wanted to see of the dinosaurs actually running rampage throughout the world is there. The clips, I was watching the trailer just before we came on, and it really is spectacular looking.
Yeah.
It reminds me of when the original movie came out. The great Gloria Hunniford was interviewed at the premiere, and she said it was so good you couldn't tell the difference between the computer dinosaurs and the real ones.
Right. Okay.
Now, I know, God love her, that's 30 years ago and it's still quoted, but I know exactly what she means, though. You're watching it, though, go, that has to be some rubber effects, or because, when computer stuff first came out, it seems very light. It's kind of fake. They're talking
exactly.
Whereas watching the clips, you go, wow, that looks real. What was there? Because it looks so impressive. And, we've just come on in technology so much. I'm really looking forward to this one. Now, anyone with kids will have noticed we haven't had kids' movies for quite some time. So Jurassic World will help with that. But also, here's good news for everyone who is kids under 10 years old, right? There's finally a cartoon out. We haven't had one since Sonic and the Bad Guys. Now, you've a little person yourself, Rory, haven't you?
I do.
And, you probably noticed, and then all the birthday parties going, what's new? Nothing. And I think that is because the pandemic. Animated movies take way longer to make. They take way longer to make. And, we've had drip of big blockbusters since cinemas reopened. And I think they just caught up on them. But finally, we've got one, and it's a big one. So we've got Lightyear. Now, obviously, this is something to do with the Toy Story world.
This is a spin-off from the Toy Story universe.
Yes. And again, I have to say, it sounds like I'm a very cynical man. I'm usually a very optimistic man. But again, I was because I'm a bit of the, do a new story. Do a new story. We don't need an old story. And then I thought this was very clever. Because, of course, in Toy Story, Buzz Lightyear is a toy based on a famous kids cartoon. So this is the kids cartoon that it's based on. And they've got Chris Evans, who people know as Captain America, to voice it. And again, I was going, okay, it might be good. Saw the robot cat in the trailer, went, I am sold. I am nearly 50 years old, Rory. I shouldn't be excited by a robot cat in a spaceship. But I went, that's laugh out loud funny. That's very good.
So this has ignited your inner child, really, Collie, is what you're saying. Or did it need igniting?
So even though you'll hear from my accent, yes, I'm from Dublin originally, but all my people are from a sort of Annagrig, Calhaim, the Ross's direction, and they will say his inner child never went away.
I see.
He was always an Egypt. So yeah, absolutely. But it's reinvigorated the wish to go and see something else, because nothing makes me happier than when there's a contrast of movies.
Yeah,
there's something for everyone.
That's what we need. Absolutely.
That's what the cinema is about. We won't all like the same thing. Wouldn't that be awful if we all only went to see? I love Marvel movies, but imagine if there was only Marvel movies. How boring would that be?
Yeah.
So when there's a choice for everyone, I love that.
Well, let's have a listen to a snippet from the upcoming movie Lightyear. Let's have a listen to this.
Buzz Lightyear mission log, stardate 3901. After a full year of being marooned, our first hyperspeed test flight is a go.
Who are you talking to?
No one.
You were narrating again.
I was not. Just doing the mission log.
You do know no one ever listens to those.
I know that. Narrating helps me focus.
That's a clip from Lightyear that's coming your way. What's the release date on Lightyear, Collie?
So that's the 17th. Parents, hold on. Only a couple more weeks to go. It's open the 17th, and it's going to be it's going to be huge. And the inner Star Trek fan in me already laughed at that bit. So it's Pixar. We didn't mention that it is Pixar who always do the best.
Yeah.
And it's not even jokes for mum and dads and jokes for the kids. It's more jokes that everyone can enjoy.
Well,
that's why they're brilliant.
That's what I always liked about Pixar and about Toy Story, because there were the jokes that worked for the kids and they were very on the nose, but there was also the humor there for mums and dads that went whoosh, straight over the kids' heads, but mum and dad. So there's something in there for everybody, which is what we like, what they need. Absolutely. There are many. Look, I'm sure you've done it. You've gone to the cinema. I'm very happy to have that experience. But you go, oh my God, I'm going to chew the inside of my face if I have to listen to. It could be anyone. Those fascist pups. Just using that in general. Again, but it's great. Yeah, it's great first time experience for some
little people, but some of them are awful. So when it comes along something that you go, I enjoyed it almost as much as they did, is something magic, you know? And like, we're now at the age, because Toy Story is a long time ago. The people who loved Toy Story when they're 5 and didn't get any of the grown-up stuff are now watching it with their kids and getting all sad at the adult bits, going, oh my God, the grown-up too fast. And now understanding why there seemed to be dust in Dad's eye when he brought me to see it 25 years ago.
It's my allergies.
Yeah.
Right, okay, that's Lightyear, so that's on the way over the next couple of weeks. Right, Collie, we're going to go for a quick commercial break, and we're going to talk about an Elvis biopic that's coming up over the next few weeks as well. Isn't that right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so we'll stay tuned, and we'll be back right after this short commercial break.
Need for getting fit in 2022. From training gear to resistance bands, skipping ropes, weights and foam rollers, we have all the essentials to see you through every step of your fitness journey from training to recovery. Shop our range of gym wear, equipment and accessories at michaelmurphysports.ie.
It's the Right Price Tiles and Wood Flooring biggest ever sale. 10 million euros worth of stock in store and ready to take home. All tiles, all wood flooring, all bathware. Everything slashed in price. Right Price Tiles and Wood Flooring. Ireland's biggest range, best prices, and in store to take home today. Sale now on.
I've just had the Eclipse Cinemas experience. Wow, they truly have taken a night at the movies to a whole new level. Amazing recliner chairs, director's lounge VIP room, pizza and hot food served to your seat. Have a glass of wine and enjoy the film on the big screen. Try it for yourself at Eclipse Cinemas Lifford Strabane, where the stars shine brighter. By the way, the pizzas are amazing. You can book your seat anytime at eclipsecinemas.ie.
Foy & Company are offering amazing discounts on a great selection of display sofas with up to 50% off a range of 2-seater, 3-seater and corner sofas in a choice of colours and styles. If you're getting a new suite of furniture, don't miss the big display sofa clearance sale on now while stocks last at Foy & Company in Letterkenny and Ballybuffet and online at foys.ie.
It is 9 minutes to midday. Good morning to you if you're just joining us on the Saturday Morning Rewind. Warring on the radio with you until 12 midday. And we're live across our social media platforms as well. Good morning if you're joining us on Facebook or any of our social media platforms this morning. Collie McFadden is here with me. We are talking movies and what's coming up in theatres as we head into summer blockbuster season. Now, a big one, Collie, on the way is the Baz Luhrmann directed Elvis biopic. Let's listen to a clip.
Our country itself is sick, that it's lost its sense of direction, even its common decency.
You don't so much as wiggle a finger.
There's a lot of people saying a lot of things, but in the end, you gotta listen to yourself.
In that moment, Elvis the man was sacrificed, and Elvis the God was born.
I'm gonna show you what the real Elvis is like tonight.
That's Elvis. That is the upcoming biopic from director Baz Luhrmann. So, Collie, tell us a little bit about it.
So I'm really looking forward to this one, not least because the voice you heard there with the strange accent, that's Tom Hanks, who's playing Colonel Tom Parker. And, you know, we've heard a lot of Elvis stuff, and obviously we've had Elvis movies and stuff before, but this, I think, is the first one really looking at the very odd relationship Elvis had with Colonel Tom Parker, who, of course, wasn't a colonel and was somewhat of a con man. It was one of the reasons that Elvis never made it to Europe, except when he was a GI. But also, Elvis was fiercely loyal to him. And look, we can talk about, it stars Austin Butler, by the way, who I didn't know was a big Disney teen star. So like people like Zac Efron, you know, he's going to be able to do the singing, he's going to be able to do the dancing, because if you grow up in that atmosphere, you can always do it. But look, the best review we can ever have, this comes out here in June 24th. But two people who've already seen it, Priscilla Presley and Lisa Marie Presley, have both seen it and said this is by far the nearest any movie any miniseries has ever got to the real Elvis. Now,
right, okay, so it's got the seal of approval from his family, which is always a good start.
Absolutely, and they, sometimes that happens, and you go, oh yeah, I bet you they are like executive producers and so on in it. That's not the case, and it is still very Baz Luhrmann style. People will know him from Moulin Rouge or Romeo and Juliet. So there is a bit of flight of fantasy. It's not just a straight Elvis was born in 1935, he died in this age. There is going to be a bit of color and decoration, probably a bit of invention to get the story across, but it's got rave reviews. It looks fantastic. I can't wait. Again, not a huge Elvis fan, but I'm really looking forward to this.
It's obviously not done through rose tinted glasses. This is going to be a warts and all true story biopic. Yeah.
Absolutely, and what they do is, it's very much a modern trend with biopics, is that they take a slice of his life. They will tell other parts of the story, but it's one section of his life in particular that they concentrate on in a way to tell the whole life. Because I think people have got bored with that sort of, here's him as a child, here's him as a teenager, and so on. That sort of linear way. So it's a different way of doing, but it's definitely going to show the downsides of both him and Colonel Tom Parker. And apparently with Tom Hanks said he's a little worried because his accent is so weird, and it's almost bad acting, because that's the way Colonel Tom Parker talked. He had an odd accent. He had a very weird manner. And sometimes, you can almost act too well. He could do too good an impression of somebody, and people go, no, I don't believe that all. But like, we know in real life, not your good listeners, of course, Rory, but some people are odd. And sometimes when you betray them on screen, people go, I don't believe that. They go, no, we cut out the weird bits. This is the toned down version.
Well, look, if he got away with Forrest Gump and that accent, I know Forrest Gump wasn't a real person, it wasn't a biopic, but if he got away with that accent and managed to pull it off, he'll get away with this.
It's Tom Hanks. He can get away with most things. Exactly. Let's be honest. Yeah.
So that's the Elvis biopic from Baz Luhrmann. That is coming 24th of June.
That's the 24th of June.
Okay, so, we look forward to that.
So we've got Jurassic World on the 10th, we've got Lightyear on the 17th, and we've got Elvis on the 24th. Now that really is something for a lot of people.
That really is, and that's jam-packed. And there'll be loads of other things being dripped in as well, and we'll talk about that. You're going to join me again next month for July, and we'll talk about the big releases and how they're doing at the box office. We'll also talk about the other stuff that's coming in around them as well.
Great. They'll be all about Minions, as all parents know. Minions.
Lovely.
Minions.
Really looking forward to that. Collie, listen, thanks for joining me this morning, all right? You take care.
A pleasure. Thank you very much.
All right, that's Collie McFadgen there joining me and talking us through the upcoming releases for the summer blockbuster season that's kicking off. It's 4 minutes to midday.